All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today, another edition of You Asked, and I am going to answer. And we have a special one today for the very first time. We'll be looking at someone else's work, or I should say we'll be talking about someone else's work. Let's go to the question. Okay, this one is from Enjoy97. I was wondering what you think of this, if I may ask, and then leaves a link to a YouTube video. And this YouTube video, although I'm not going to play it, I'll leave a link in the description below, is called Time. And to sum up, 4 minutes of video that I actually watched. I took the time, I watched it, albeit in double speed. It's about a guy who is bummed out because he made a documentary that took him 5 years. He made it all by himself. And at the end of this process, he's realized that nobody cares and nobody wants to watch it. And the short version of this clip, if I was going to be negative, I would say, sir, welcome to the desert of the real. This is real life. Nobody cares about your thing. And that's just true in general. Nobody cares about you. Maybe your family, but that's about it, right? Even your family, sometimes there are days when they don't care about you. They especially don't care how hard you worked on something. If you're asking them to watch your thing or to care about your thing, the chances of that happening, almost zero, right? And specifically in this video, the gentleman says that the video requires time to take in, and he's wondering why none of the film festivals will give him the time of day. Now, I will say it's really hard to make something good. Really, really, really difficult. And it's tricky with filmmaking because you and I were constantly exposed to people who are making films or who are making content or videos that are really, really skilled at what they do. We see the tippy top of the spear. And yet, when we go out and we try to make these things ourselves, we don't realize that we're only exposed to the people who are really, really good at making content. We don't realize that. It's not like, you can be exposed to basketball. You can watch the NBA on television, and then the friction between seeing what's on TV and then going out there and trying it yourself and either being successful or, more than likely, extremely unsuccessful when you go try and put the ball in the hoop. There's not a lot of friction there. All you need is a ball and a basketball hoop, okay? But if you watch a film and you're like, that looks easy because I've seen 100 films in the last year. That all looks pretty easy. I can go out there and do it. Guess what there is between you and that end product? There is friction, lots and lots and lots of it. It's very hard to do. What does that mean? That means that you build up the illusion of grandeur, that you can do it too because you're only exposed. If I only saw LeBron James and Kevin Durant play basketball and I didn't have the opportunity to go try and play basketball, I might think, well, that's easy. I can do that. That's super, super simple. Look at how they just jump in the air and put the ball in the hoop. I don't understand. Why don't other people do this? This seems like this is a complete waste of time that I'm not doing it when I should be, and I could be making millions of dollars. Okay, but we know, right? That sounds silly when you say it out loud because you know the friction, the difficulty between what you actually see and what you yourself can do, especially with, and this is the most important part, especially without a lot of practice. Okay. Now, I would say to this gentleman specifically, 5 years of doing anything without knowing if you're any good, if it was me and I woke up with the idea that I wanted to shoot a documentary over 5 years and I didn't know if I was any good at it, about, day 2, I would look myself in the mirror and go, is this the best use of my time? Maybe I should try something smaller, like a 5-minute video like he's done that I could just put on YouTube and see if anybody says, this is great. Because if you put something out and nobody says, hey, this is pretty good, or hey, this is not bad, you probably shouldn't do something for 5 years without knowing if you're any good at it. So the beautiful thing is, and this is, again, take it with a grain of salt. I have no idea what I'm talking about, right? I'm a space cadet too. Nobody cares about me. But guess what? I know that. I know that nobody cares, which is why I talk on the internet. Nobody cares. I don't even care. Nobody cares, okay? I have made one feature film in my entire life. The rest of the time, I am a hired gun for people who want to make commercials. I know how to make lighting look pretty nice in certain situations. And that is all. I don't have illusions of grandeur, right? I'm not going to make a story that's going to change the entire world forever. I don't want to do any of that. Okay, but I'm realistic. And how did I get so good at the thing that I can do? Or even not so good, how did I get good at all to the point where people would pay me? Years and years and years of sucking at it and just going, maybe I could suck a little bit less and then I try again. If you looked at the first project that I ever shot, you would go, that sucks. If it took 5 years for me to make that first project, at the end, guess what you would say? That sucks. So you can either suck for 5 years or you can suck for a day, right? Go out, save yourself 5 years. Go out and do one of those weekend 24, 48-hour film challenges. I can guarantee you by the end of it, you will go, man, this movie or this short film, this sucks. Okay? And you'd be like, oh, it sucks because we didn't have enough time, because we didn't have the resources or the budget or the actors weren't very good. No. This is what takes a few times to realize. It's none of those things. You know what it is? It's you sucking at making something that people want to watch. It's really, really hard to make something that people want to watch. In fact, everybody fails. You know who doesn't fail? Like 0.0001% of the population. And this would actually be good for the filmmaking industry, right? I often think about this, and I think about it from a cinematography point of view, right? Not a director's point of view or anybody else's. I think what would be good is if you strapped like a GoPro onto a week in the life of whatever cinematographer you want to take, who's working on some film that you really liked. Like, let's say, I don't know, I like the images that Greg Fraser created in Dune, right? Him, Denis Villeneuve, beautiful, like very, very difficult to do, incredible stuff. You strapped a GoPro to Greg during the making of that film for a week, and you just had to watch every single thing that he did, every decision, every breakfast in the hotel, every dinner by yourself in the hotel room while your family is, halfway around the world living their life while you're stuck in Romania or Tatooine or wherever they shot that. I can't remember. You're stuck there for a year. Would you make all of those sacrifices for at the end to say, I shot Dune? I bet you 99.9% of the people would say no. It's crazy, the amount of sacrifice that you have to go through to make something good. Now, you shouldn't even judge that though, because what you should be saying is, am I willing to do, like just watching that GoPro footage of 7 days, morning till night, those are the decisions, this is the lifestyle, you have to be on set 24/7 all the time, this is it, you're making this thing. Not to get Dune, because Dune is really good. That is not the rule. That is the exception. The rule, 99 times out of 100, if you don't have Denis Villeneuve, if you don't have Greg Fraser, that movie comes out terrible. Okay? 0 people want to watch it. Nobody has any interest in it. It comes out horrendous. The default is horrendous. So would you do all of those things in that live stream for 7 days, for 6 months, and at the end, have a hot, steaming pile of dog shit for a film with your name attached to it? Would you like to do that? If the answer is no, you should not be a cinematographer. You shouldn't do it, because that is what is going to happen. Guaranteed that is what is going to happen, right? The pico top, right? That you see and that, like, okay, yes, I'm poo-pooing on somebody's dream. Okay, that might happen to you. You know what it takes? It takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of sacrifice. How do you get good at anything? Practice, sacrifice. You're not just going to stumble your way into the very first time that you go out and you make something. Is it going to be good? Man, I'm going to say no. It's going to be super hard. So if we were going to take practical advice away, what would it be? It would be fail as fast as you can. Fail as fast as you can. Don't fail on a 5-year documentary thing. Fail on a 1-day thing that you go out there and you made some commercial for whatever. You make a spec commercial. You try and create a little profile on yourself or on your girlfriend, on your boyfriend, whoever it is. Fail as fast as you can, because you'll quickly realize that, hold on, this is really, really hard to make something good. And you think it's easy because all you have been exposed to are really, really talented individuals making things for you to consume. That's why you think it's easy, but it's not easy. It's super hard. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't give it a go. Absolutely give it a go. But if you were going to be, I would say if you were going to be strategic about it, you'd say, how do I fail at a faster rate than once every 5 years? Because if you wait 5 years to realize that nobody cares, that you have to make something that people can't look away from because it's so interesting, it's so captivating. If you can't tell a story at a dinner party where people are like, that's amazing, like, please tell me more. If they just move on to the next part of the conversation, you're probably not a great storyteller, right? You probably don't have the stories yet. Build up those stories. Try and accumulate those with life experience while you're also practicing at how to translate that into a medium like film. Okay, that's not easy to do. Super difficult. So I would say to this gentleman in particular, welcome to the desert of the real. Like, you made something 5 years. Okay. Did you enjoy the process during those 5 years of making this documentary? If you did, you're winning at life. If you didn't, if you were doing all of that, like sucking through it, Like going, okay, this is a horrible experience, but I know at the end of 5 years, I'm going to get this thing in every film festival. It's going to change the world. It's going to change my life. I'm going to be bawling, right? That's not going to happen. So if you enjoyed the 5 years, you're winning. Keep doing it. If you didn't enjoy those 5 years, that is a huge bummer. And you could have done it way faster because you're going to suck for a very long time. Almost, well, probabilistically, you're going to suck forever at doing it. But if you enjoy the sucking and you enjoy maybe getting 1% better every single day, then do it, right? But it's super, super hard. It is not the default. And I think people get carried away because all they see is good. If all you see is good, you somehow get convinced that, wait a second, good is just normal. I can just go out there and do dog shit stuff and it will be good. And then quickly, well, hopefully quickly. The alternative is not quickly. And then you spend 5 years going, man, I'm not good at this. And then you realize nobody cares and you make a YouTube video about it. But I'd say don't give up, right? Just fail faster. Fail faster, fail more. And then ask yourself the really hard question, which is it's super, super simple to do YouTube videos about it. Super simple to watch YouTube videos about it. You know what's not super simple? Going out there and actually doing the work. Doing the work without the guarantee of success. Of course, everybody wants to shoot Blade Runner. Everybody wants to work on whatever, any cool movie that you can possibly think of. But that's not the norm. Ask any professional in the film business that, like, and I'm talking like a technician on set, your grips, lighting, all of those people, 99 out of 100 films that they work on, all horrendous. All just gets completely swept away. And even the good ones, right? Even the good ones. What, you go to the premiere, you get to tell people you worked on it. Was it enjoyable to actually be there day in and day out on set? Was that enjoyable? Because if it wasn't, and sometimes, let's be realistic, sometimes it's not enjoyable. Sometimes it's not fun. Other times it is. So, would you rather be, like, if you could trade, I'll give you the trade right now. You could have 6 months of your life, or you could have a credit as having shot whatever movie that you wanted. Oof. Ask yourself if you would take that credit, or if you would just go, I'll take the 6 months. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. Everybody's got their own decision to make, but I would say good for the person who made it. Dollar Monkey, like, good that you completed it. Nobody cares though. And if it's good, people will watch. You just got to keep plugging away. Somebody will watch it. But if it's not good, which is the huge likelihood, it's a bummer. Okay. Hopefully that was optimistic for you. And we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.